Welcome to the DNP Conversation, a recorded interview series featuring Doctor of Nursing practice professionals from across the country. Our purpose is to share the amazing work of DNPs and how they're making an impact on patient, organizational, and academic outcomes. I am Dr. Jeannie Barber, Professor of Nursing at James Madison University.
Hello, and I'm Dr. Brenda Douglas, Professor from Drexel University. Today, we are talking with Dr. David Campbell Odell, and it's such a pleasure to have you with us today. Thank you for joining. Would you take some time and tell us about yourself and what is going on with the DNP Inc. organization?
I certainly will. And before I get started, I realize I really want to congratulate the two of you for the work that you're doing and the work that you're doing in this, the way that you're doing this work with these recordings and the podcasts and highlighting what folks are doing. That is the mission of DNP Inc., is to enhance and highlight and promote the growth of DNP-prepared colleagues. And you two are exemplars of making that happen. So thank you to both of you. Before we get started, I realize I need to start off with that, because if I get to the end and I don't thank you for it, that's a real loss. So thank you both for that. Let me share with everybody a little bit about the background of Doctors of Nursing Practice Incorporated. I am one of 6 people as students through the University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis that started this organization. It was not our doctoral project. This was a side project in a course that we took together called Advanced Leadership. And we had an opportunity of either putting together a grant or putting together a business plan. We put together the business plan. We were incorporated in November, and in February, we had our first iteration of the website. In the fall of that year, we had our first national conference. That was in Memphis, the home University of Tennessee Health Science Center in Memphis. So since then, we have moved forward and we have expanded services to include continuing education, a foundation, services on the website to include a listing of DNP projects as a repository, programs, highlighting the DNP programs around the country. We've developed a dissemination team and multiple other features. But the highlight of what we do each year is the national conference. And this national conference is a labor of joy. And it's a pleasure to be able to put something like this together and rally and have a little bit of a homecoming of DNP colleagues. And this year it has been a bit of a challenge. And like everybody on the planet with this pandemic, we've all had to separate ourselves. However, this time is the time for us to go ahead and pull it back together. So this is a face-to-face conference. We anticipate this 14th National Conference taking place August 11th, 12th, and 13th at the Swiss Hotel in Chicago. We do anticipate that it's going to be smaller than previous conferences. However, it's still going to be robust, and there's still a lot of great speakers, a lot of tremendous content, and I'll talk about that in a moment. I do want to point out early on, again, to allow me to do this while it's still in my memory, I want to point out that even though it's maybe a smaller face-to-face conference, most of this is going to be recorded, either video or audio or both. And we will have these segments go through a post-production so that we're sure that there's a good presentation. And we will put that on the website and sell the entire conference either as a package or a la carte if somebody wants to see a specific aspect. So we are doing our best to make things work. I want to answer a question that I have heard several times. Why are we not doing a virtual conference? One of the aspects of a virtual conference is live streaming. Live streaming within a home setting is different than live streaming at a venue. And when we go to a venue, we have to pay a very high price sometimes for the bandwidth in order to do live streaming. And the cost was prohibitive. So we stepped back and said, this is what we have to do. So that's why we are doing a face-to-face. We anticipate a great energy and a great response from those who are able to attend, and we will record it and go forward from there. Let me share with you, or as one of the questions that you asked, and one of the reasons we're talking is the theme of this conference is DNP and Quality Improvement. I think everybody will agree that quality improvement is some of the foundation of what DNP prepared colleagues do. And with this in mind, we have a wealth of experiences and knowledge, expertise, and application to share. So we have put out a call for abstracts for both breakout sessions, mini podium presentations, and poster presentations. And we have invited plenary speakers who are experts in quality improvement. They're going to share not only their own experiences in their respective organizations, but also the concepts of quality improvement and what we can do to improve upon them as we move forward in practice. Along with that, and along with the DNP practice of quality improvement comes the DNP education process. And that DNP educational process is shifting also. So with this in mind, I think that the overall goal and the overall target population for the conference is DNP in practice. We can't separate that from DNPs who are involved in education, because it is critical that DNPs in education are holding hands with those who are in practice and moving it forward. So it is a joint effort, and there's multiple experts that are holding hands and making sure that we're moving this forward together. So that's just kind of a broad stroke overview. I'm hoping that is helpful. And what else do you think we should be touching in on?
Well, thank you so much, David.
Mhm.
And as you mentioned, as we all know, there are new AACN Essentials and other initiatives that are impacting DNP education and practice. Can you tell us just a little bit about how these topics will be addressed in the upcoming conference?
I think it's very important, and I appreciate you asking me that question, Jeannie, because the essentials are evolving. And the American Association of Colleges of Nursing have been looking at the essentials, not only of DNP, doctoral education essentials, but master's and bachelor, to assure that they are all connected and tying together, and with the intention of improving nursing education at all levels. But that does impact DNP education and therefore practice. So the 8 essentials now is evolving into competencies that must be demonstrated. I think from my position in academia, I see that schools are struggling with this and will probably struggle for the next foreseeable number of years. Um, Along with that struggle comes innovation and productivity and ideas that heretofore we're probably not ready to, we're not even realizing what we know. So in that aspect, I think good things are coming about. And now I'm going to turn this mirror on to two of you and say thank you both for agreeing to pull together a presentation that is going to discuss the paradigm shift of the 8 essentials to competencies and how that's going to impact not only DNP education, but DNP practice. And at this point, it's kind of looking into a crystal ball. And the two of you have been looking at DNP education and capstone projects or doctoral projects, whatever the term may be, for a long time. And with that in mind, I am so glad that the two of you are you're grabbing hold of this bull and you're going to wrestle it to the ground, and we are going to learn a lot as a result. But to kind of pull this together, DNP education, including the 8 essentials and the evolution into competencies, is foundational to DNP practice. So we must talk about it. And the fact that the two of you are going to be doing a presentation to support this theme, goodness, how can you lose? I think good things are going to come about for folks who are students, those who have just graduated, those who have graduated and been in practice for a number of years, and definitely for anybody involved in DNP education. So I think it's like a win-win-win-win situation, and I'm so glad to be a part of it.
Thank you, David. We're excited for that plenary session as well, and to facilitate a conversation and involve others and learn what they're doing in their own organizations to help with this evolution of the new essentials.
Mhm.
would you share for those that may be returning or may be new to the DNP conference of where they get started, how they register, and what they can expect? I'll be glad to share that website to help.
Sure. If you'll share the website, that is the main source of our communication is the website, and it is doctorsofnursingpractice.org. Doctors is plural, doctors of nursing practice, all one word, .org, our 501c3 nonprofit organization's main website. You may also put in DNPinc.org. It'll take you to the same page. And on that page, you can see under conferences, this conference is listed, and a repository, archive of all past conferences are there also, including PowerPoints, audio recordings, all of the presentations that we have collected are available there. So that's the main start if you're interested in coming to the conference. And it spells out how to register for the conference and the different levels of registration. It also spells out how to register for the room through the Swiss Hotel. It's an easy process. Everything's right there on that website. We are still looking for student volunteers. Just saw that pop up, and so that's something to consider also. If you're a DNP student, please do consider attending the conference. That would be wonderful. And with continuing education, everything that we have lined up is on go. So that is the main site, and the main page, the conference page, should answer every question that you have. Do scroll down as you're doing. I appreciate you doing that, Brenda, to point out the different locations for information, such as registration, the listing of the planners, the plenary sessions, etc. It's all there. So scroll up and down, find what you need, click into it, and your information is readily available.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, David, so much for joining our conversation today and for sharing all the information about DNP Inc. and the upcoming conference. We also want to thank our listeners for supporting us in this effort. And as we all know, DNPs across the country are making significant contributions to not only the health of our communities, but also to the leadership of healthcare organizations and to our academic institutions. And as we say at the end of all of our sessions, now more than ever, it is imperative that we continue dialogue about what we do, how we do it, and the many successes that we are experiencing. It is our hope that these conversations continue to fuel and inspire you. And let's just keep these conversations going. And we hope to see you in August at the DNP Inc. National Conference.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, David.
All right.
We look forward to the conference. It's always fabulous.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you.